Oh, wait. Cole says he's been in the lobby. Did you see him down there?
Do not see him. Oh, there he is. There he is. All right.
Hey, all right. We'll get back to Fatu and Alexander in a second. Cole just messaged me saying I've been in the lobby. I can't see the lobby. Jeremy can.
He just showed up.
Oh, okay,
I don't believe he's been there for hours upon
Hey, either
time.
way, he's here. So
there we go. Hello, Cole.
Here we go. Cole.
How you doing, buddy? His
You're
mic
muted.
is muted. I have to
unmute
you have to
Cole,
unmute your mic, Cole.
Unmute yourself.
I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself.
We'll
I think we're live now. Pal.
There we go.
There
we're
we
good.
go.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Hey,
there we go.
Everybody, we are being joined in the creator spotlight right now by a returning guest. He is the Ratty Daddy. He is your new GCW Extreme Champion. There it is. We got the belt on screen.
Yeah.
He is the king of Red Shit Mountain. Cole motherfucking Radrick is in the house. Returning guest. How you doing, man? Is this your first interview since winning the title?
Yeah. I don't do a lot of podcasts, actually, believe it or not. Not that I hate doing them. Just some of them tend to get, like, I know this is more than just a podcast, obviously, but, like, I don't do a lot of interviews because, like, sometimes the questions just get repetitive.
Sure.
But, like, I love coming on here because it's always good chatting with you guys, good catching up. So, I was definitely technically in the lobby, but, like, I didn't enter in a screen name or anything, so I just didn't do the next step. So,
see?
But to be fair, I think we can go back to the last interview, and I think I saved like 3 times. I'm a self-proclaimed idiot, so this isn't on.
True. Hey, and before we get into anything, Cole, let people know where they can help y'all out. I know you and your girlfriend totaled your car. We really appreciate you coming in here to talk with us this morning because I know you got a lot going on, and it is early and everything. But if the people can support it all, where do they need to go to help y'all out?
If they feel inclined to, literally, I think if you just at Cole Radrick, one word, is the Venmo. It's crwrestles@gmail is the PayPal. If you guys feel inclined, it's also, I think if I have Cash App, it's Ratty Daddy for the number ever. And so if you guys want to feel inclined to donate, those are the links. But there's been a lot of people reaching out over the past couple of days, and I just want to say the support is very much appreciated by me and my girlfriend. It really does mean a lot, and we always appreciate the love from everybody.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys a lot, seriously.
For sure. And do you still have 8x10s available? I signed an 8x10 over the weekend, so if y'all want to support too, like Cole's got signed 8x10s and stuff, like there's ways you can support and also get a little something back. I'm going to put the 8x10 in my office here with some other wrestling stuff I've got from people I've got to know in the business a little bit. So yeah, support Cole. Cole, dude, huge weekend, man. Huge weekend. And you got another big one coming up, SCI in Chattanooga, coming up this weekend too. So yeah, man, I guess first reaction of winning that GCW Extreme Championship.
That's pretty fucking crazy, ain't it? No, it's really sick. It's something that it's like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if I say this, if it's like a bragging way, but it's not. But it's like when I first started in GCW, like it's still extremely hard to get into GCW. So it was like every time I wrestled there, I was like, man, like this is probably the last time I'm being brought back, and it's the last time I'm being brought back. And even until like up to a few months ago, I was still having like those thoughts of, damn, this might be the last time I get booked because maybe people don't rock and roll with me. Now they have a fucking belt. So now I have a belt. So what are you going to do now? No, in reality, it's like I got to this point where I'm now, holding one of the belts in GCW, and it's time to make a statement that Ratty Daddy's here to stay,
Yeah, absolutely. I know that was one of the things that we talked about was like you kind of wanted to get not necessarily like out of doing scramble matches because you had a really good spot in GCW, but now look how much has happened just since the last time we talked. Like that's awesome.
Yeah, when was the last time we talked? Do you remember?
Well, the last time me and you talked was in Atlanta at the GCW show.
Yeah. Well, and I meant like the interview. I know. Are you going to be in Atlanta in August?
I should be. Is GCW coming back to Atlanta?
Yeah, August 20th.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there for sure. Yeah, I didn't realize that was coming up so soon. Dude, I got a lot coming up. I Battle Slam this weekend. I wanted to be at SCI, but I can't be at two places at once. But I wish. Jeremy, what kind of questions you got?
Oh, I just wanted to know about the match and like when you were told about, hey, we're gonna be putting this title on you. Did you know going into the weekend when the match was announced? Were right before you walked out? It's like, hey, you're gonna win tonight. Like, when were you told about everything?
I would say honestly, so it was probably about 30 minutes before the show. Like, we were the first match and we were kind of like getting everything together. And then we all kind of like looked around and were like, who's winning? So I was like just walking through the curtain and Brett was coming out of the curtain. And he's like, oh, hey, he kind of gave me like the 3 cliff notes he wanted from the match. And I was like, all right, like who's over? Like, and I presumed it was like somebody else. And he's like, oh, yeah, Cole's up. And I was like,
You're looking around. You say Cole?
Is there another Cole in this match?
Yeah, no, literally. He's like, yeah, you. He goes, yeah, Cole. And I was like, all right. So I kind of went up to everybody and I was like, it kind of feels like when you're like telling a fib almost to like your little brother. When you go up to everybody, it's like, hey, so I'm winning the match and out. Like, I was like, honestly, I partially somebody being like, no, you're not. Like, let's go actually ask who's winning the match. But that's how it ended up happening, and pretty thankful.
Yeah.
I want to know about the spots with Marco because he choke slammed you. Like he couldn't body slam you. He couldn't lift you up for a suplex, but he managed to get you up for the choke
brother.
slam. Yeah, he goozled you.
It's the goozle. Have you ever been goozled by Marco Stunt?
I haven't.
I have.
He seems deceptively strong.
The guy's fucking huge. Look at him.
Yeah.
He was wearing the one strap. I mean,
yeah, he was wearing wearing the strap because the body slam he couldn't do, but I guess the strap gives you the power for the choke slam because that's the big show, I guess. But
I mean, he's a little
deceptively strong. Marco Stunt.
Very deceptively strong. No, it was I really enjoyed the spots I had with Marco. I thought the crowd really, really ate them up, and then I killed him with a pedigree.
He took that. I mean, that was the callback to the Triple H when he nearly murdered that guy like the first time he hit that thing. But yeah, that was the throwback pedigree. We just spiked him. He took that so well. That was great.
Yeah, I mean, when he jumped up, I was like worried. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like as he's like kicking his legs up, I'm like, oh fuck, like I've seen this one before, you know what I mean? So luckily you're able to see me like shoot my knees underneath at the like last second because I was just gonna go like normal, and I was like, oh fuck, like might as well try to protect little Marco as much as I can.
That's so funny. It was very reminiscent of the pedigree you're talking about, Jeremy. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that being a big clip, even back in like the Kazaa and like LimeWire days when like wrestling clips were just kind of getting viral. I remember that being one. Cole, with your regular finisher, what's like the actual name of your finishing move? Because I've heard it called different things. I know Takeshita has started doing it.
So I have two finishers. The one that Takeshita does, I call it Little Sebastian's Curse. So one. So for people that are watching, and I'm going to maybe clip this and show examples if that's cool. Obviously, tag credit, whatever. So Little Sebastian Curse is set up from behind. And then there's the one that's like the side saddle power bomb looking thing. That's one's called Cracker Jack Bomb. So they're two separate ones. They kind of look familiar, but they are like different things. But the one Takeshita does is my original one that I've done for about 5 years.
Okay, and what's he calling it?
He was calling it Little Sebastian's Curse, and then like people were like, "Oh, it's like the Cinnabomb." And then he's like, "Oh no, we're gonna call it Little Sebastian's Curse." And I went up to him. He was hanging out in the locker room for the GCW show in Nashville, and I went up to him. I was like, "Hey, like you can call it Cinnabomb. Like you're way more cooler than I am. Like call it whatever the fuck you want. Like you've tagged me like 5 times. Like." you're what you take it. Like, you beat me with the damn move. Like, come on. So whenever he does it, it's Cinnabon, and whenever I do it, it's Little Sebastian's Curse.
Okay, does Little Sebastian's Curse come where I think it comes from, of Parks and Rec?
Love you, Jeremy. Really do. Where else would Little Sebastian come from?
I gotta know these things. I gotta know.
No, it is exactly. You're right. It's exactly where you thought it came from, brother.
You never know. You could have your own horse you just named Little Sebastian or anything
Dude,
like
if
that.
I had a mini horse, I would. Dude, I don't think I'd wrestle. I'd just hang out with my mini horse all day, honestly. Like, I would be riding it through town, just.
That's what I would do too if I had a mini horse. Because look, Fly Little Sebastian, that should be your theme music for one of these events. Is come out to Fly Little Sebastian. But yes, what a great show that was. When I heard that, I was like, it's got to come from that. I should have asked that last time. But Cinnabon's a great name too.
Exactly.
You should have. You should punch Takeshka. You should just hit him for taking your move.
I tried to, and then he kicked my ass.
How was the experience of wrestling him? Because he's got a ton of buzz right now.
Sorry, I was readjusting my brightness. Honestly, it was a lot of fun working with him. The dude's like a complete pro, and it was pretty sick because like the crowd was really excited for the match, and it just made like the match easier, because if the crowd is just already biting into it, you can approach it differently in the way that you set up the back half, or what you want people to buy it on, or what certain things you want to pull out their emotions. So it was really easy for us to plan that match around that, because we already knew that the fans were going to be invested. We didn't have to work to get them invested first. So like the entire experience of working with him was really, really awesome.
He's blowing up right now. And I did see you tweet about him, because he's facing Claudio on Saturday, and you're just like, this guy's a star. Has he offered you any Cinnabon as like a return of like, hey, thanks for letting me use your finisher? Like, have you guys split any Cinnabon?
Nah, but we've split a couple beers. So I think that was our way of, toasting off to it. So definitely a couple beers after the match, obviously. I don't know. If he gets a Cinnabon sponsorship, I might hit him up for like a gift card or a T-shirt if he gets one of those. But if not, maybe we'll see what happens. But that's the game.
I feel like it's close. I feel like it's close for him.
You would think they're tweeting at him all the time. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead, Jeremy. I got plenty. I can. Yeah.
Okay. Like last time we did have you on, it was after the death match. So it was like February, late February, early March. It was after the death match.
That long already? Jeez.
Was it after was it the Orin one?
Yeah, it was after Orin. Yeah.
Okay.
Where you nearly just tore down the showboat, literally.
And I'm gonna keep on fucking doing it over and over and over and over.
And now you've done like 1,000 of these death match. You're becoming like the new Deathmatch King. Like, what makes you keep coming back to these death matches that you want to just, all right, let's do like the thumbtack kick pads and everything. Like what are you doing, Cole?
I think I've only done like 10 this year, which is still a fucking chunk. That's still a chunk. Don't get me wrong. I just really enjoy the risk aspect of it. So I grew up loving JC Bailey. He was my first independent wrestler that like I bought into. I love the aspect of being able to wrestle any style, and the fun thing about my pursuit in wrestling is I really, really want to be the absolute best that I can be in every single style of wrestling, whether it's strong style, catch as catch can, technical, lucha, deathmatch, hardcore, even sports entertainment type wrestling where it's like a TV style. I really enjoy the aspect of challenging myself to be as good as I can in those. So when it's time to step up to the plate in death matches, I'm your guy. And it's also just a way to keep things fresh, keep things kind of like, you have to think of things differently when you involve like dangerous ass weapons, like glass and thumbtacks and barbed wire and panes of glass. Like you really have to think through on how things could happen and how things could go wrong. And right before you're going out that curtain, every big spot where you're like, oh fuck, like there's that 3% chance. Sorry, my cat. Sorry, my Mac. I got one cat licking another, like cleaning them, and the other one's like a big ass baby. So, as a super tough deathmatch wrestler and also a big father of 4 cats, I just really, really enjoy the risk and the adrenaline aspect and going out there and doing the damn match and having people lose their fucking minds. And then you come back to the curtain and people are like, yo, you're a fucking madman. And that's just really, really cool. And like the deathmatch fans have such an appreciation for the art. It's so fucking cool. There will be fans that just come up to me. They're like, they buy merch and they're like, dude, like we literally drove, 12 hours to see you wrestle at the Showboat. Like I had somebody tell me that at Tournament of Survival. And I was like, yo, I used to like drive 12 hours for like my favorite punk band. Like, what do you mean? Like you drove 12 hours and paid for a hotel room to see a dorky ass dude like me wrestle. But there's just a whole bunch of different reasons, and I know I ran a lot. It's who I am. We went through this on the last interview, so I do apologize.
Oh no, not at all. No, dude, you're the bloody buddy, Cole. People gotta drive out to watch you do your thing. There was a kind of a scary weekend a few weeks back where Hoodfoot was hospitalized, and then you were hospitalized the next night, both off of death matches. Is there anything you want to speak toward with that? Because as someone who's a fan of you and Hoodfoot and so many others, like it's concerning when you see that stuff, especially back-to-back nights, because you're like, I don't want to see you guys getting hurt, but obviously there is an inherent risk in what you're doing. Do you want to speak to that at all? Just kind of like what that weekend was like, and just I know things are just going to happen. It's just the nature of what y'all are doing, but I don't know. It just felt like that was kind of a concerning weekend for me, seeing you and Hoodfoot both get hurt kind of back to back.
Yeah, it was, love Hoodfoot. I've known him for his entire career. Literally, we grew up wrestling the same show every Friday. That was really dumb. He knows it. Like, those are like stabbing each other with broken glass. Like, it's like it's not smart. He's the one that came up with it. He came up with the idea. And even he'll tell you it was so dumb. So it was. There's just the thing in death matches that I don't know, like I would say worries me, but it's something I try to stay away from. Is there's a lot of people that just go crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier, and it's super cool. Like it's insane, but there's just some things where I'm like, man, like you could build up to it in a regular death match using regular like bumps and regular like the 2002 to 2006, 7 like work rate of, and still be safe and build a story out of it. And there's just sometimes when I see these like that, it's like, man, like that's insane. Like why would you stab somebody like in your bicep where you can slice an artery and like literally bleed out, like a la Nick Gage did? Yeah. Obviously it's completely different. Like those are the things that worry me. And, I obviously talked to Mo, and I've hung out with Mo, did his benefit show and everything. And I love him to death that every time I see him, he goes, yeah, that was really fucking dumb. And I'm like, yeah, that was pretty dumb, bro. And I mean, obviously we're all, I'm not the smartest person in the world. Mine, I ended up getting, 10 or 8 stitches, which that was whatever. But I was trying to like explain to the hospital people what I do, and they were just so confused. They're like, so you weren't beat up? And I was like, no. And they're like, okay. And like 3 minutes later, somebody else, and they're like, you sure you didn't get into an altercation? And I was like, I got into a scripted one. I will test that. I was like, but, eventually I showed them a gif of what happened, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah." But luckily, like I was able to wrestle like 2 days later against Joey Janela, so it was fine.
Yeah, yeah.
We have somebody in our chat. Derek W says, "Are you worried about being stereotyped as a deathmatch wrestler, or if you're just happy like only doing death matches?"
So I've always said that I'm not a deathmatch wrestler. I'm a guy that does death matches. If you looked at my schedule and even in my GCW schedule, I've wrestled more regular matches for GCW this year than I have death matches. I've done 2 death matches this year outside of GCW, maybe 3 outside of GCW, and I've done I think 5 or 6 for GCW. So that's 10, and then I did 2 last year. I think 3 the year before that. So, I mean that's what we'll say 18 matches, and I would say in the last 3 years alone, I've probably had over I'd probably say 200 matches. So that's such a small portion of it. I mean, if I wrestled a guy like Gringo Loco, that doesn't turn me into a luchador because I've wrestled him, 25 times in a scramble match. I would like to be a guy known as a guy that when I do death matches, I show respect to the art, and I'm a guy that's capable of doing them, especially at a high level. I will wear the fact that I do death matches with pride. I'm not ashamed of that fact at all. I love deathmatch wrestling, and I think it's fucking cool when you do it right. I think when you look at the guys in Japan and the guys in Australia and the guys in the States and the guys in England and Mexico doing death matches, there's a lot of really good fucking talent out there that are also professional wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, in a big contrast to kind of the deathmatch stuff that we're talking about this weekend, you got the SCI tournament. You're wrestling Adam Priest, right? That's
Yep.
So I mean, so that's the I mean, that's going to be Adam Priest is known, as a technical wrestler, or a guy who's really good between the ropes, and a guy who's really been killing it in the Southeast. Like he's done great in uncharted territory this season. He's gotten over the DDT as a finisher, which I love. Like I just love seeing old school moves like that still being used as finishers. I'm really looking forward to you and Adam Priest. What can people expect out of that? Because if people only know you through deathmatch wrestling, for instance, this is a complete contrast to that, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I am honestly this is a match I've been looking forward to for the past 2 years, legitimately. I think Adam Priest is one of the best professional wrestlers in the United States currently, contracted, non-contracted, wherever. As a professional wrestler, I think Adam Priest gets it. He's one of the guys out there. I think me and Adam Priest are going to have probably one of my favorite, like this is me just like thinking ahead, but I think there's all the potential in the world of this being one of my favorite matches, and I think this probably has the potential to steal the fucking show. That being said, like I'm completely different than anything Adam Priest has ever wrestled. I think I bring a completely different style to any type of match, and I think this could provide to be really, really fucking good. Is it at the TWE Arena? Do you know? I think
no, it's
booked on it, and I'm literally going there tomorrow, so I should probably know. But usually I just meet up with Mouse, and that's how I figure it out.
There you go. I believe it's at Saudi Daisy High School again this year.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I've gotten to get out there a few times for the SCI tournament. That's just a great weekend, by the way. I recommend anyone who can make it out to go check it out. It's they're doing. I think they have a show at TWE tonight, and then they have and then they got SCI Friday, Saturday. And that's a stacked tournament. It's my favorite tournament of the year every year. I mean, you spoke of Mouse, and of course, I'm always going to ask you about how Mouse and Billy Starks are doing, and your whole crew with the BSB. I know you just pulled your eyes. How things going? How things going with Mr. Bellamy over there?
I mean, Robert.
I love that.
Robert. He's okay. He's angry camera guy. I'm always looking forward to seeing him. He's like, he's older than me, but he's always going to be my little brother. Billy's probably doing great. I think she's in Georgia hanging out with like a friend. So I think she's probably doing cool. I get to see him though this weekend, so I'm pretty stoked for that. I know Billy's at SCI. I think she's wrestling Robert Martyr in the first round.
Yep.
See, CTE is a fucking myth. I'm telling you. No, so like I always enjoy getting to hang out with Mouse. Me and him, we ride in the car a lot. So whenever we go to wrestling shows, so this is just yet another weekend heading to yet another show. But it's fucking SCI, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. You ever been to? Man. Oh, I'm about to ask if you've been to SCI before. So this will be your first like SCI prom experience. Are you gonna be hanging out at prom? I remember the year that Nick Gage was there, and he was like so confused as to what was going on.
So there's a bar there, right?
Yeah, there's like
is it a good bar, or is it like one of those where it's like $80 drinks?
Well, so they have like the City Cafe, which is like where everyone like eats and gets like pieces of cake and stuff. And then people are gonna bring a lot of alcohol, I'm sure. So yeah, you'll have a good time. I was
about to say it depends on like my intake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How much I'll probably, because I'm like I'm not a unsocial not social person, but if I definitely get a couple Budweisers or Bud Lights or whatever in me, I'll probably turn up. And they have karaoke too, right?
They do the whole thing, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna probably have to make sure I don't embarrass myself.
Oh yeah, guarantee there'll be people up there like singing like "My Way" by Limp Bizkit and stuff. It'll be your typical like wrestling fan type thing. Yeah. So yeah, no, those are great people out there, and I know like Scott Hensley out there, and I don't know if Dylan Hale still has a part in the SCI. He was the guy I always used to talk to about it, but
it might be the second craziest because it's at the hotel, right?
Yeah, so I can't remember the name of the hotel, but but that's where the City Cafe is inside the hotel that like everybody stays at, but the high school is obviously that's a high school, so that the rules there are a little bit different. Like but yeah, they'll have a good crowd there, and sorry, go ahead, Cole.
I was about to say it'll probably be like the second craziest hotel experience at a wrestling weekend I've had, so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, craziest.
You want?
Yeah, we got to know.
We definitely have to know this
because, like, so the first time I go out to GCW in LA, mind you, I may or may not enjoy the vitamins that LA dispensaries might give out, right?
For sure.
So, land. 10 minutes after landing, obviously, I'm like, oh, let's go visit a store, and we go visit a store. It's me, Effie. Alley Cat,
right? No, I know. Yeah.
Me, Effie, Allison, and there's some other person. And they're like, "Oh, let's go to the hotel." And we go to this really, really, really nice hotel, and we see, the first thing I see is somebody just wearing leather, like walks like straight by. But I'm like, it's like a leather bra and like short shorts. So I was like, okay, that's whatever. Next thing is some dude's being let out by a leash with a girl. And I'm like, and like Effie's like, I don't know, like we're going to experience whatever this is. And I'm like, all right, like let's go on through. And there's like, we go in and there's like a whole bunch of like dominatrixes and like these random dudes just hanging out. And there's a dominatrix convention going on in the hotel that the GCW crew is staying at. So you have guys like Matthew Justice, and like all the talent just walking through the hotel, and like all these people, and like I'm not kink shaming anybody or whatever. Sure. Like you're into whatever, be happy, it's great. But it's just like we were all just like, what the fuck? So you have all these like cartoon character wrestlers and this huge convention going on. The entire weekend we're there, and then it's me and Jimmy Lloyd, and we're like, it's like this. After the last show we were in LA for. And we go to like walk out. Oh, it's me, Jimmy Lloyd, Drew Parker. I'm sorry. And we go to walk out, and there's an after party at this dominatrix convention. And everybody, we were all like, and we just like take a peek inside it. And I was like, they were going pretty crazy in this like meeting room. And I was like, all right, well, I got my story. I'm good. let's get to the next hotel. I need a drink.
Oh, tell me Jimmy Lloyd and Drew Parker like went in and hung out for a while though. I love it.
Listen, we didn't hang out. We literally like, we didn't go to like, to like in a strip club that would be called Creepers Row or nothing. But we definitely like peeked inside. We all got like a beer and it's like just because like you gotta experience it. You just gotta see like, and it's just like we're just like, and yeah. It was just like, what the fuck's going on? And like eventually Effie walks by and he goes, "It's just another day, honey. Let's go." And like we all just laughed. I was like, yeah, like I get it, but we were all just like, what's the fucking timing of like this cartoon character cast of fucking talent? Effie, Alley Catch, Dark Sheik was also there. We had like not there presently, but like staying at the hotel, and I was like, wow, like, all right. So there's like a couple of that I didn't go. I can say that, but there was a couple of them that went to the actual convention. They said it was a great time. So, hell yeah. Oh, also, thank you for the thing. I appreciate it. On my way up to 10K.
Oh, yes.
Hit that follow.
Yes, follow Cole. I
Sorry,
gotta
I just
ask
saw
you.
that. Good follow.
We try to promote on there. There you go. Jensen's just pointing to his own name. What a
well,
mark
I'm
for
pointing
himself.
through my name
cool.
into his
I'm
name.
not cool, Jensen. I get it.
I gotta ask follow-up questions on one. You talked about beer, having a couple of Budweisers and stuff. We bury beer here on this show. Like you got to drink something like better than just generic Budweisers, right?
I'm not much of a drinker though. That's the thing.
Well, that's good too.
So like, I prefer the weed a lot more than I prefer.
Sure, yeah,
that's
totally fine. Yeah.
I gotta build it up, brother. I'm a worker. What do you mean?
True.
I just prefer weed over alcohol personally. But when I do drink, it's Bud Light, so I think that's a little bit better than Budweiser. And then I'll drink like Tito's or vodka or like stuff like that. If I want to drink alcohol, like I'm going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just bury beer here on this show. That's what we try to do.
I respect that. I drink a couple craft beers. Like I find there's this weird thing I've discovered over my career is I wrestle for like at a craft brewery or outside of one or right beside one, like at least once a month. So now I'm just like, all right, I'll go there and I'll get like a 6-pack or whatever, and I'll like enjoy it over the course of a month. But when an NFL Sunday comes back, the beer belly's back, baby.
I'm excited. I mean, doesn't preseason start tonight?
No, the Hall of Fame game's tonight.
Yeah,
the Hall of Fame game. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
which
right.
technically
you guys
preseason.
have a football show now, right?
Yeah, it's
saw
me. That. Yeah, it's me, Rob Wilkins, and Doug. With the three of us, will be doing that.
If I was going to get a guest spot and nobody answered.
When did you?
Why did you guys ignore Cole?
You think
Thanks, Jeremy. You know what, Jeremy? I appreciate it.
Hold on a second. Did you? Where did you?
I said. Oh, you're making me pull up the tape.
I'm gonna pull this up. Hold on. Because I have another question that I'll let you.
Hey, I'm gonna answer real quick though. Cole, you're absolutely invited on to talk about your.
I'm gonna screenshot it. I'm gonna put this on screen. Cole's gone dark. Cole, I got you. I got you on this. Cole.
You got it. Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on. But I got to ask another question. Another follow up. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, come on, brother! Don't do that to me.
You can have more than one, but like, you get up there and you like, all right, I'm locked in. I haven't done
karaoke in like since I was like 8, legitimately. Oh God, I remember when I was like a kid, I did karaoke for. Oh God, I think I did like "Lips of an Angel" or something really dumb like that.
It's like Hinder.
Yeah.
I remember.
I did "Lips of an Angel" and "Better Than Me" by Hinder, all in the same night. I was really going through it at like 8, 9 years old. It was a real struggle bus.
Man, did you find the tweet or something, Jeremy?
I got it. I'm pulling it up. I'm uploading it. Here it is. Hold on. It's uploading on the StreamYard right there. This is in reply.
Oh, that was a reply to my tweet.
That was replying to your tweet, Jensen. And
How
as
did I
you can
miss
see,
that?
no replies. So you just
Oh.
ignored him. You
Oh,
ignored him, Steven
no.
Jensen.
Cole, you're
No.
absolutely in bed.
No.
How did I miss
That's
that?
not how this one's work. We don't get to go back to it.
Probably the only person who responded to it too, and I somehow missed it. Hold on, let me get that pulled up. I'm gonna like the tweet right now so y'all know that I saw it. Here it is, dude. Cole, you're more than welcome on. You're a big Colts fan, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a big Colts guy.
What do you think of McAfee's performance?
Wrestling?
Yeah, I mean wrestling, talk show, commentary.
So, God, you know I'm a mark for McAfee. And Jeremy, I appreciate the response. How many days later?
Oh no, I just responded.
Yeah,
just
this
now.
is Jensen. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Jensen.
yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I just responded.
He had to be bullied into responding live on the air
right?
too.
Really insane.
I can't believe I missed that.
So, as a wrestler, I think McAfee Pat's really, really dope. Kevin Geezer got to work with him like years ago when McAfee first bought the ring with OVW. Like what you can tell, what I really, really like about Pat McAfee is when he does something, he does it to the fullest, and like he respects the art of pro wrestling. Like he did the stuff with Adam Cole and Triple H on the show, and obviously it was like stuff that was worked or whatever. And then like he wore a neck brace for like a straight week after one of his matches. Like he'd always like would like talk about wrestling and like would say it in like have respectful tones to it, and then would talk about, you know, how hard it is and like the things people go through, and he always puts people over about that. And then whenever you watch him, you can tell like one, he's having a fucking blast. Two, the guy really loves doing it. And then three, you can tell like he works really, really hard at like trying to be as prepared and as successful as you can be in wrestling. Talk show wise, he's like the only NFL talk show that I'm like, man, I gotta listen to. Like, what time is it? Because his show comes on at 12.
Yeah, his show starts at 12. Yeah.
Yeah, let's make sure we work around that. All right, a little bit here, okay? I'm still a mark, all right? I had a guy try to buy my McAfee jersey off of me for $300 at SummerSlam. Wow. I said no, I can't. It's too sentimental to me now. But
yeah.
Also, do you guys watch SmackDown a lot with commentary?
Yeah, I do. Jensen doesn't watch it.
Not so much.
Tell me that Michael Cole hasn't been the absolute best since Pat McAfee joined.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Even just from me watching their pay-per-views, I can tell that. Yeah,
you can tell that like Michael Cole is just like having so much more fun. It's a lot more looser because Pat McAfee is just going to say whatever the fuck he wants. Like, you know, if you ever listen to his talk show, like Pat McAfee is very much of the guy that's like, hey, I'm going to say what I want to say. Like, I'm a players first, organization second person. So like, I think he's just a really good person as a person, and a good person to have in the locker room, because he doesn't like dealing with negativity, and you can hear that throughout his podcasts or just listening to his show and stuff like that.
I have to ask a Parks and Rec question now. It was in our chat. Thoughts on this from Caden? Thoughts on Jerry from Parks and Rec? Come on. Gary, Jerry, whatever you want to call him. His real name was Jerry.
Yeah, but like,
yeah. You think he got a bad rap on the show? You think he get too much hate?
Okay, but like, too much is a relative term. Like, there's just some of the shit that he did, and you're just like, yeah, fuck him. But like, still, like, it's one of those things where like you either love him or you hate him so much that you love him, right?
He tried. He did his best.
Yeah.
He got picked on a lot. He got bullied.
Don't be a bully.
He was always bullying.
A star.
Fair.
Always bullying. Who was your favorite character from Parks and Rec?
Little Sebastian.
Okay, besides Little Sebastian.
It's Little Sebastian. I thought, here's the thing with Little Sebastian I loved in Parks and Rec, is how all the characters interacted with him. That's so it is a character, just like Spider-Pig was a character in the South Park movie. Still my favorite character, or not South Park, but the Simpsons movie. Okay, CT Israel.
I'm gonna ask one more, because we have I want to keep you to pass Pat McAfee's show.
I'm just joking with you all. I'll be on here as long as you guys want me. I just randomly rant, and I hate it.
I got things to do, Cole. I got kids running around here. Kids want to come in here and use my computer to play their video games and stuff. I don't live here. I just exist in their world. But I got to ask you this, because you actually, this is more of a compliment than a question. It'll turn into a question. You started we have our final question now on this show is, what's the coolest thing in your room? This is what we ask every guest as our last question on the show. You started this because I believe the poster behind you, I was wondering what it was. The Indiana poster. I was wondering what it was.
Yeah.
I was wondering what it was when you were on, and I was like, what is that? And then you told the story of that, and you talked about all the other posters and stuff. And so we thought it'd be a good idea. Let's just ask all of our guests, what's the coolest thing in your room? And it started because of you. I don't know, like, we don't get royalties off of this show, but if we did, we would send you like some royalties, because without this question, like, it's become our closer. We've gotten some really cool stories out of it too. So now I got to know, like, is that the coolest thing in your room? And if not, like, what is the actual coolest thing you have in your room?
GCW Extreme Championship is probably way up there. We saw that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. All right, you want to see the new it's not okay. Yeah. Damn, I got two. Are we going for the pop or are we going for the sentimental?
Well, for whatever you want, you can do both.
Yeah, show us both.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just get the pop because that's my personal favorite.
Okay.
So, I called Hoodfoot an idiot earlier, right? This is my.
Is that a picture of Hoodfoot barbecuing?
Yes.
I love that.
So this is at a wrestling show, and Hoodfoot was match 1 just because he was the barbecuer, the grill master for the day. So he was match 1, and then by match 2, he was already out slinging burgers, getting the food ready, and it was just hilarious because like he had a beer in his hand the whole time, and it's just being Uncle Hoodfoot, having a towel over his shoulder, and obviously I was match 2, and my girlfriend snaps this photo of Hoodfoot. And so now it's just a framed photo in our house because it's just the funniest shit to us. Like Mo just
that rules.
That is hilarious. That is great.
I love that.
So we got that one, and then let me see how hard this was to take off. My girlfriend is the one that sets all these up, so I don't want to fuck up on you. We'll just move over to it. Because I would have taken off, and she's like, "You fucked that up." So it's not these two. So these two are pretty cool. The Rock and Mankind Valentine's Day cards. But what's really cool is this photo right here is a signed autograph from Mick Foley. He does a comedy show, and there's a comedy club in Bloomington called the Comedy Addicts. And when I went to my first day at my training school, my dad took me to the Comedy Addict to watch Mick Foley. So that photo is like relative to the very first day I started training to be a wrestler. So it's kind of cool to like look back on. And I also love Mick Foley because he's a fucking man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, those are great. Actually,
one
more. You have more.
I swear.
Hell yeah. Let's see it. So
we talked about my love for the Colts. I mean, obviously, I have a lot more of these, but this is one of the very cool like Peyton Manning like trading cards.
Yeah,
I have actually like 12 of them. Like I have like a rookie card. I have like a pennant card where it's like a flag. Like I have a whole bunch that some fan, mind you, again, the chat already knows, but I'm stoned out of my gourd at a wrestling show in Columbus. And some fans like, cool, I got something for you. And hands me like all these trading cards. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, all right, like sick. So now I got a whole bunch of trading cards. If anybody has a Pat McAfee one and they just want to gift one to your boy, let me know. I may or may not switch you out a merch item instead.
There you go.
But like, yeah, so the Peyton Manning trading cards is probably one of the cooler things in my house. So
So the next
I
step,
wish I could talk football with Steven, but I wasn't even.
Oh, come on, man! You are very much invited. You're very much invited. Hey, next step is you got to take that those trading cards and turn them into you got to bling them out like Logan Paul and wear them out to the ring and like a big chain.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
he's not a heel. He's not a heel.
Either is Logan Paul.
He's a heel. It did when
I mean, depending on how you look at it.
It did when he did the Pokemon card.
But do we hate him now after his SummerSlam match? Because like honestly, like both matches he had bangers.
Yeah.
Steven Jensen's best friends with Logan Paul. That's what I learned today.
I met him one time and he was very nice to me.
And but you and Logan Paul are best friends. Can you put me in contact?
that's what I learned on this show today.
Yeah, man, I'll get you on Impulsive, man. No problem, no problem. Hey, we were talking about him a little bit earlier today. We were talking a little SummerSlam. We also talked a little Ric Flair's last match. And I just wanted to ask you kind of before, as we wrapped up here, because, I marked out seeing like Jimmy Lloyd like dapping up Ric Flair at the end of the show. And Ric Flair walked right up to Blake Christian. You could tell Blake was like, me? Like, okay, like, all right. And how did you feel about kind of that whole experience? Like, I thought the show was the show itself I thought was really well done. It was cool to see a lot of the talent on it. But do you have any kind of opinion you want out there about like Ric Flair wrestling that night? Because it was scary for a lot of the fans. So
I think everybody had a bated breath, but at the end of the day, like he's a grown man.
Right.
He can make his own decisions. He's a legend. And I don't think the people that were in that match would have done it if they thought it could have gone horribly wrong.
Sure.
So like I'm in my head, I was like, I'm just going to trust the professionals on this. I just thought that venue looked so fucking cool. Like, I don't know how it came across on like Fight or whatever streaming platform. I believe it was on Fight.
Yeah.
Like I just thought that venue looked awesome. Like in person, I was like, God damn, like that. It was just really, really cool. I love the TV set. I thought it was such a cool little thing. I just thought, even going out there, I was a fucking beer guy when Mansour won. Like, hell yeah, I had the fucking best job on the show. Like, one of the best jobs on the show. You know what I mean? Even just standing on the stage, there's just a lot of people there. Like when Flair went out, like that, it was packed, like for the whole show. But like every seat was like filled that was available for Flair's match. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good perspective.
Flair's swan song is just him saying goodbye with Jimmy Lloyd.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man,
Jimmy Lloyd there, and he's just saying goodbye, with putting over Kid Rock as his final promo, which is great.
One last question I've got, because it was announced yesterday. What's your reaction to seeing that Mance Warner's wrestling Jon Moxley on AEW Rampage? Because that's got to be huge for the whole GCW roster, seeing stuff like that.
Let's fucking go! Yeah. That's sick. That's really sick. Mansour is another guy I've known literally, like, I think one of his first match outside of Indiana, it was with a road trip that we were both on together. Like, I've known Mansour literally for 6+ years now. Like, and I think it's really fucking cool to see a guy like that, be on that stage. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah. And then this kind of goes full circle, because about 5 years ago or so, the first person to ever tell me about Mance Warner, and he said, "Hey, this guy's going to be huge. If you don't know about him, like you gotta talk to him. You gotta meet him at a show." First person to ever tell me about Mance Warner was Robert Bellamy. So there you go.
You suck, Robert. You don't have to put Robert over. You could have put over. You could have said anybody told you that.
That's true. I could have just made something up. I love Robert because he's one of those dudes that I met just naturally by going to shows and just by being around him, and just next thing you know, we're talking. Next thing I know, I realize he's taking pictures. Next thing I know, I realize his daughter is wrestling, and now what it's become with the BSB. So, and it just feels like that was a lifetime ago. That was like 5 years ago, and just so much has happened since then. But
crazier?
Sorry, what was that?
What's going to be crazier is in 5 years when Billy's signed to a contract and I'm retired running the training school. It's going to be great. Mouse is going to handle the business aspect. Her mom can handle the financial. Billy and her boyfriend can go and wrestle and have contracts, and then I'll just be the old guy, just half broken down at 29, 30. Just all right. Let me show you what a back pump is. All right, somebody else get in here. Do it real quick. You know what I mean?
Well, hey, last thing I got before we get out of here. Good luck this weekend at the SCI, man. You're gonna have a blast. Good luck in the tournament. For those of you who want to watch, it'll be available on independentwrestling.tv.
Is it live? I thought it's live.
I believe it's live both nights. IWTV.live. Y'all can use code Fight Talk if you want to check the platform out. That helps me out when y'all use that code. And I say it all the time, and I legitimately mean this. I think IWTV is the best $10 a month you can spend on any streaming service that has to do with combat sports. I love IWTV. So check it out. You just this weekend alone, you're gonna get TWE tonight. You're gonna get SCI over the weekend. I mean, great value in my opinion. And Cole, you're gonna kill it, man. I'm very excited for your first SCI weekend.
Dude, I'm stoked too. It's pretty cool because like SCI has always been like a wow, fuck those people. Sorry, Brittany Griner's decision. Like I said, this just went out. So I'm pretty excited for SCI, especially when I started wrestling. Like it was like a big tournament, and it was something like you had to like work to and get to know that. Like I don't want to say in like a political way, but you had to be, you had to know the right people. Like you had to, do futures, and you had to do the Rumble, and you had to do this. And I got in it off of I believe merit alone.
Yeah.
I've never done the SCI Rumble, and I've never done futures or the like any other things like that. So that's really it's like a thing of pride, honestly. Like going into this week and knowing like I got here on my like work ethic and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna win the whole goddamn tournament with work ethic and all that shit. So I'm really excited for it. Who knows? Maybe I have 1 beer, 2 beer. 3 beers, do a little karaoke. People just probably not like me anymore after karaoke night, but
hey, so just so everyone knows, the future showcase that Cole's talking about, that'll be on Saturday afternoon too. So like you have that on IWTV Live also. They make a whole weekend out of it. So
and it's always good wrestling. Like throughout the whole weekend, it's always great matches. I'm just proud of the fact that I got to skip it, but I went my own route with it and got there.
No, you're right though. That usually was the path. You either had to be in like really good with like, shout out Dylan Hale, Scott Hensley,
shout out
Matt Griffin, friend of the show. Matt's been on the show before.
Love Matt.
And it's like the action wrestling future showcase, so he has a big hand in that. And yeah, I know even like Billy, even though Billy was still pretty high status when she did futures, like she went through futures as well. I mean, so yeah, you've carved your own path, man, and I'm really looking forward to it. I will absolutely be watching live, and I'll be tweeting about it as it's going on. I'm gonna get as many people as I can to watch those shows. So,
Jeremy, you know what's crazy?
What's that?
He's gonna be tweeting live about the show, and you couldn't even tweet me back about the NFL show. Insane.
Oh man,
it's crazy.
Oh, I love you, man. Like
my heart hurts.
Come on, dude. Man, I've been on the Cole Radrick bandwagon since it's got to be so early.
You're making Jensen feel so bad right now. I love it. I think it's great, but he's feeling so bad right now. Cole, we appreciate you joining us live. Our first live interview with somebody. So Cole has always been a trendsetter on the show, from asking coolest thing in your room to now being our first live interview. We appreciate it. I'm glad you're well after this weekend. This very scary picture that you posted. I'm glad you and the girlfriend are well after that. And let everybody know where they can find you at on social media or elsewhere.
Right, that one. Yeah. So that is my Yep, that's my Instagram and my Twitter. So hit me up on either one of those. You can find me on Facebook at Cole Radrick. Please do not look up my real life stuff. That's been a really weird influx as of lately, which is also cool because I guess that means people like me. But please.
There you go. Thank you again, Cole. Real appreciate it. Good luck this weekend at SCI, and congrats on winning the GCW Extreme Championship, kicking the shit out of Marco Stunt, that big, strong man that he is. Thank you, Cole. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you guys.
We'll do our own football show. You know what? We'll just I got Twitch, I got YouTube. Just the Cole and Jeremy football show. That's what we'll do. We don't need Steven Jensen.
Oh man, we'll have like an NFL XFL type rivalry. I'll and Cole, I will the Battlehawks. There you go. Hey, Cole, I will be in contact soon about getting you on soon to talk some football, man. For sure.
You think so, Jeremy?
I don't know.
Well,
I wouldn't
thought
trust
I was
them.
for sure going to get at least a like back on the original comment.
I just liked it and hit. I said yes. Okay, I publicly accepted. I don't know how I missed that. By the way, I have no idea how I missed that. But anyway.
I'm nobody. It's okay. I'm used goods. You already got me. I already said I would do the interview, and you're like, all right, I don't need that.
Hey, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit more. So over the weekend, I guess it was probably Friday when you put up the thing about your 8x10s. That was I just saw you were like selling $5 8x10s, and I was like, this is a good deal. So I hit up Cole and I was like, hey man, can I get a signed 8x10? Let me know where to send the money. Sent it on over. I had no idea you're going to be winning the GCW Extreme Championship that night. So it's like, it just kind of, I'm already buying merch. And then it's like, oh, okay, wait a second. I bet Cole would want to come on the show. He just won this championship. So the timing just kind of worked out great too.
I always want to come on the show.
Yeah, of course. We appreciate it. We do appreciate it. But no, trust me, man. We're gonna need people to talk about football with us over the season.
Yeah, and I mean, it all starts with a comment or a like back on a tweet, and until your co-host had to literally be like, "Hey, Cole did actually say something."
Cool. Yo, dude, you can just message. You can just message me. Cole.
I'm nobody.
Just send me a message and say, Steven, I want to go on the show, and I'll
DM
you back.
No, he wanted to put it out there in the public. He was so excited.
That's true.
Do you have fantasy football, Steven?
I do. Yeah, big into fantasy football.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm very big into fantasy football.
So if you have an extra spot in a league or two, let me know.
I'll let you know. If something opens up. It's been me and my buddy since high school, so it's pretty rare that something opens. I know you're like rolling your eyes like, Cole, you're one of the only people I've invited on the show more than once, ever.
Listen.
Hey, if anything opens up, I will let you know. 100%.
I hope when you go to GCW on August 20th in Atlanta, Steven Jensen, that Cole Radrick just kicks the shit out of you. Just gives you a nice little forearm shot to the head. Me and Cole are going to be doing this show from now on.
Honestly,
kick
Jeremy,
Jensen out of here.
Even if I went up to Steven, and he just might act like it's Twitter and just not acknowledge me.
Yeah, he might not say anything. He's like, who are you? Yeah.
He's like,
come on.
He's like, do you subscribe to the Patreon?
Yeah, you got FightfulSelect.com.
Fightful Select member?
Yeah, and to be fair, Cole was honestly one of the only people that when I went to that GCW show, I got a few DMs from a couple wrestlers that knew I was there. Cole was one of the only ones that was like, hey man, let's meet up when the show's over. And I was like, dude, that made me feel great. I appreciate that. And we got to talk a little bit after the show.
Cole Radrick, you've seemed like a nice guy. You've done this show multiple times for some reason. I certainly don't understand why anybody would ignore you publicly on Twitter.
Dude, am I right?
I don't get it.
That's crazy to me. I literally was like, yo, man, let's get to know each other. Let's hang out. What's up? And then I'm like, he's like, thank you for doing the show, man. It's really great. And then all I say is, hey, I can talk fucking football. I can talk, and I love wrestling. Wrestling's my passion. I love it more than anything else. I've never wanted to do anything else in my life. But I could talk something outside of wrestling for 2 fucking seconds, and I get ignored. My heart can only handle so much.
Jensen's gonna message you every single week. Like, you want to do the show? You want to do the show?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I could be a 5-minute guest spot where I comment and I'm like, what's up? Here's the bangers. Here's the losers. Fire Trevor Lawrence, and let's go. Trevor Lawrence is the god.
Thank you,
right, Steven. Who's winning the Super Bowl this year?
Well, I'm very biased, so this is
non-biased.
Road's going to win the WWE Championship. Oh, I said this is like asking me if Cody Rhodes is going to win the WWE Championship because I'm a huge Cody mark.
We know.
Yeah, so right. I'm a big mark for the Minnesota Vikings, so of course they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. But
okay, now if you were using, and I say this in the most loving way because I have to use this the same. If we're using our brains here and putting $1,000 on the line,
Yeah, you're putting money down.
Probably, man. It's hard for me to. No matter how old he gets, it's hard for me to bet against Tom Brady. Like I think the Bucs are always going to be in the mix, and I think they've done a good job, like supplementing their wide receivers and their tight ends and stuff in the offseason for him. I don't know. I think Josh Allen in the Bills, they're going to be real dangerous with Stephon Diggs and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'd probably gun to my head. I'd probably just go with the Bucs because Tom Brady's a winner. So
okay.
What about you?
Well, obviously the Indianapolis Colts are going to be undefeated.
Of course, right? Yeah, right. Okay.
So I think if the Rams re-sign OBJ, I think the Rams probably have a really good chance of going back-to-back. I think when Matthew Stafford gets hot, it's just one of those things that you can't fucking stop him. And especially with him having the confidence now after leaving Detroit, first year winning a Super Bowl, and then him being like, oh, yeah, I am a fucking guy. Like, I think that goes a long way. I think the Buffalo Bills, if you would have asked me like Sunday, I would have said the Buffalo Bills, but they just lost Jordan Poyer and somebody else for like 8 or 9. I don't know if it's for the year or for whatever. So I'm going to say the Rams and the Bucs are probably going to be my two that I would imagine. I mean, there's always going to be the Patrick Mahomes and other guys. I think Mac Jones and the Patriots have a crazy year. I think I think Mac Jones is going to show a lot of improvement, probably a lot more scrambling and a lot more of like a deep pass threat. But that's what I think is going to happen. I think the Colts fucking at least make the playoffs. That's all I give a fuck about. We don't have Carson Wentz anymore. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
That's how I feel about the Vikings too. Like, obviously with us having Kevin O'Connell as our head coach now, that's going to be cool to have like a young guy who like came from a winning team with the Rams and stuff and a new mindset. And I'm a Kirk Cousins fan. I know he's divisive within the fan base, but I like him and I like what we've put around him. So I'm excited. Jeremy, what would you say? You give me your bias pick and then who you think more realistically might be able to do this.
I can't even pretend to be biased with the Carolina Panthers. I at
least
like Baker. I like Baker. He's an upgrade over Darnold. Darnold was just awful last season. Like Baker, I don't mind him. Last season, I'll chalk up to the shoulder thing, but he won a playoff game in Cleveland. Okay, like that's a big deal. And that was only a couple seasons ago. So I do like Baker. They actually improved the offensive line, so that should be good. But I can't even be biased. Like, yeah, the Panthers are definitely going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not writing off Mahomes, after the Super Bowl disappointment. And then last season, I think the Chiefs come back a little bit stronger this year. So I'm going Chiefs in the AFC. And then NFC, it is very tough to bet against Tom Brady. But yeah, the Rams, they're the defending champions for a reason. And Rodgers, it's always tough to bet against him as well. I think the Rams, though. I'll go with the Rams. But they'll probably be a surprise team. There's always who had the Bengals making it last year, right? There's always that team that just comes out of nowhere and it's like, yeah, they're in the Super Bowl now.
I just want the Jets. I want Zach Wilson just to be a fucking dog. That's it. He's already a dog off the field.
Yes.
So I just need him to be a dog on the field. Apparently, though, Joe Flacco outplayed him yesterday, so who knows?
That's not good.
Oof.
That's not good. I didn't know Joe Flacco was still in the league. So
yeah,
still hanging on.
Yeah.
Still hanging on.
They backup money. Okay.
Yeah, not a bad position to be in for a lot of guys. No. Yeah,
a third string backup QB that's won a Super Bowl and gets at least that minimum. All right.
Yeah. I'm not gonna knock
me up.
Hell yeah. There you go.
Cool. Thank you again, buddy. We gotta run through our final topics here, Steven Jensen. Cool. Thank you. Jensen will have you on the football show. I'll make it.
I just did. What are you talking about?
That's true.
Well, no,
it just happened.
Did you?
It just happened.
Did you?
Oh, no, I'm kidding. Cole, I'll be in touch soon, man. We'll definitely get you on the show, man. Hey, and I do appreciate you coming on this morning. I know it's early. You got a lot of stuff going on over the weekend and with the accident and everything. So we really do appreciate you coming on, man. We really do.
We do.
No, I love being on here. Anytime you guys want me on, just let me know. Sorry for all the ranting. You guys knew what you signed up for. But you guys are the best. I appreciate y'all.
You're great. We appreciate you, Cole.
Yep,
Thanks,
later.
man.
brother.
Bye. All right. Cole
Awesome.
Radrick, what a great guy.
What a